I was not expecting to go live tonight, but I also figured I'd see who all was out in internet land. Maybe no one is. And if I wind up doing this live tonight by myself, I'm going to be totally okay with that. Went live the night before last. And please, if you follow me, don't feel you need to watch like every live I do. I mean, I appreciate it that people do, but also like some of my friends that like have huge channels, um, you know, hey Eric, how you doing? Yeah, I was kind of looking around, Eric, to see if anyone else was going live tonight. Couldn't really find where they were. Um, I saw Ledcab, a little red dot out by his name, and then I like refreshed the screen. So my computer in this room runs about 24/7. No lie. And I even kind of thought about going live through StreamYard. It's just StreamYard is such a pain, but that way you can bring people on if you want to. Hey, Immortal Herper. Yeah, it has been a while, man. Good to see you here. Have you had any new videos? Let us know in the chat. Stand enjoys. Ledka's on Big D's Pythons live. Okay, for some reason I want to say I'm subscribed to that guy, and I did not see him on the lives, which is okay. I mean, nobody's getting everybody's notifications, or maybe I'm not subscribed to Big D's. I don't know. Honestly, don't anyone take it personal, but I'm not really all into the ball python thing. They're okay. They're neat snakes. I honestly have been watching people for 25 years trying to breed that next big morph. And, I mean, nothing's wrong with it, but it's just not my thing. And exactly, Eric, we're a part of a big community, and it's a lot of people do lives, and then like tonight I didn't think I'd do a live, but I was kind of messing around in my office and found something. I thought this might be a cool thing to do a live about, or I'm charging it up over there right now. Yeah, I mean, it's just like some of these guys get on and they talk about this gene or that gene, and I'm kind of like, man, like, can we hurry up and feed the thing to a cobra? I mean, that sounds horrible. Certainly by now you're kind of familiar with the jokes in the community. You found a baby king, Immortal Herper. Did you get video of it? Come on, tell me you got a video of it, Immortal. It's been a long time since I've seen a video from you. Matter of fact, I'm pulling you up right now to see if you've put out one since the last time I have checked. No, I saw the one on toads you did about 5 months ago. I see where you've got a couple of shorts that I haven't seen. So, the trapdoor spider, that's cool. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. Yeah. Baby King, Immortal Herper, remind me real quick, are you in... No, the trapdoor spider, you got a rough green and a ring neck. Okay, you're North America. Eighth grade has been a ton of drama. You've gotten into 3 fights about. It's all about the. He's yeah. No, I understand, Immortal. I was in um. I was in the 8th grade back in like 1986, and hey DEA, how are you doing? I was in the 8th grade in about 1986, and it's all you did was get in fights, or talk smack about someone for 2 months, and then finally you get in a fight, and it's just kind of what it is. But I've been cleaning out my office. I covered that the other night's live. I don't want to talk about that too much, and I'm kind of having to realize that any progress is some progress, and any progress is more than you had before. I'm a little bit bummed that they called off the IIHF hockey tournament tonight. Nothing to do with herps, but unfortunately, some of those kids will not go to the NHL. Some of them will, but some of them, this was like the biggest moment of the last 15 years of their life, and then they called it, and and I don't really understand why. It's like, why not postpone things out a little? Why cancel it altogether? Neither here nor there. I mean, it's not my decision. I just feel bad for them kids that have worked for years to get to this point, to get told, well, we've, suspended 3 games, so we're just going to cancel the whole tournament. Not a big fan of that. Really kind of a little burned out on everything reptile right now. I don't know if I know I have other friends like here in town that kind of get that way. They're kind of like, I tag them for an answer in something. It's something like over my head. It's, when did the, cane brake get reclassified into a timber rattlesnake, and or something like that. And they're just like, dude, um, forget about it. Don't bother me. It's like, why, man? I know you've got the perfect answer. And they're just like, yeah, but I'm totally burnt out on the whole subject. And I understand that. Smetlogic Herping, which they're one of my favorite field herping channels, definitely go and check them out. They said something the other night about, Todd, how many channels do you have? And it was just tongue in cheek. Didn't mean anything by it. But I kind of covered the fact that I've got a channel for my dog. I've got a drone channel, which is kind of drone and technology based stuff. It's all amateur. It's not like Jeff and Dovey or someone like that. But then it's like I've got a personal vlog channel that I do keep private. Then I've got my monetized Roundup Rodeo channel that was took me by surprise, and the monies went way down after I lost the ads on that one video. Hey, Mr. J, how are you? Immortal Herper, you're in Tennessee. Where are you at in Tennessee? Yeah, hockey's moving pretty good in Tennessee with the Preds going to the. I want to say they went to the Stanley Cup a couple of years back. A lot of people think we don't have hockey here in Tulsa. We've had minor league hockey here in Tulsa since 1929. We've been a farm team for the Edmonton Oilers, and right now I think we're a farm team for the Manitoba Moose in the AHL, which, now that there's a league between the Central Hockey League and the National Hockey League, now instead of being a farm team for the NHL, we're a farm team for the Manitoba Moose, who are, if I remember correctly, a farm team for the Winnipeg Jets. And I don't know that it's helping us any, especially with the travel squads. Clarksville, Palermo, Immortal Herper. I've got an old friend of mine from way back in the day before Facebook. There's this thing called MySpace, and he lives in Clarksville, Tennessee. Don't know if he's still doing music or not. His name was D.D. Screamer, and me and him were old friends. once again, like I said, whether or not he has anything music-wise that he's still doing, he was kind of known around that area. I don't think he ever got nationally recognized. Knowing my luck, after we lost touch, he got nationally recognized. But I'm familiar with the area. I'll say that, Immortal. And it's a beautiful area. I've got a brother over in Knoxville. And the whole dang holidays have gotten messed up because of people getting sick, so to speak. I've got an uncle in the hospital, and my wife's niece is recovering from being sick. We were all around her like 2 weeks ago, and so it's like we've all been in self-imposed quarantine for a while, just trying to be responsible. And anyway, neither here nor there, but it's just been kind of a funny end of the year. I'm praying to God that 2022 is better. Doing guitar stuff now. That's cool, Immortal. Yeah, and that's kind of one of the things I wanted to touch on is, man, you kind of have to vary your interests a little bit. One thing I said the other night in my live that I would definitely um, reiterate, so to speak, is YouTube kind of kills your creativity. If you want a snake channel to be successful, you have to show snakes. You can't do part snakes, part sports, part flowers or whatever, gardening or whatever you do. It's kind of really a niche environment. So, seeing as though you can have several channels tied to the same email address and still manage them all from that email address, I've found it's kind of easier to just make a new channel for your other interests if you want to keep that stuff on video. And some of that stuff I kind of want to record and get out there because, like, I save all my hard drive space for, like, my high-end snake footage. Um, you never know who's going to want some of what. And really, the stuff that I'm trying to sell is snake footage. Man, it's been a while since I've seen DEA and Mr. J in the same chat, so we're going to call this a cool night. DEA, man, let me know in the chat. Have you been doing any lives lately? Because I haven't seen them. I've caught the thing you do with Gary a couple of times. Um, and I don't know if he still has that platform going. I think when I changed phones, I like lost my login for that, and I don't know that I ever got around to getting it back. But I hear you, DEA. I've done a few lives. I've been doing lives about like once a week, and then usually going on other people's, and I'm really kind of burnt out on it, but it's kind of like, what else is there to do in the middle of the night that can drive your hours without editing new video? Yeah, you still Fauna Radio, that's the name of it. And be sure, DEA, if you want to drop a link to that in our chat so some of my other friends can catch that, friends that maybe don't hit your lives, I would be on board with that. Because Fauna Radio, when I've been able to catch it, has been pretty cool. It's been worth listening to. Gary and Andrew are like, they've got a lot of stuff up here when it comes to herpetoculture. But anyway, I just kind of going down a few memory lanes tonight, so to speak. And like I said, cleaning out my office, and I'm not saying that I'm, going to be the most efficient person around. My buddy Mark, he sometimes comments under the name Nobody Special. That's Mark. He likes reptiles, but he doesn't like being in the reptile community. He doesn't want to like be in a bunch of Facebook groups regarding reptiles and stuff. And after 20 years of being in the so-called community myself, I kind of understand where he's coming from. He doesn't do drama, but he helps me with some of my videos, and he's a great guy to have around. I was kind of hoping he would hang around tonight after the Alamo Bowl football game to help me tackle some of this office, a loss he did not. So I'm kind of here hanging out on my own, and that's fine. But I did find something. I'm kind of charging it to see if I can get it to work. Um, I'm basically what happened. Hey, Logic Rex, man, good to see you, bud. Let me know if you guys are going to be on Discord a little later, because I probably won't be on here for a long time tonight. Um, I'd like to catch up to you guys over there if you're going to be there. The wrist DEA, it's pretty much back to normal. I was going to have my final surgery to have a screw removed last or this Wednesday. And because I was within the 10-day exposure period to one of my relatives, they went ahead and postponed the surgery. Okay, later that afternoon, the CDC comes out and says, we're now recommending a 5-day, quarantine for people who have been exposed. And then later I find out that yeah, it does, DEA. I was looking forward to getting it done and hopefully starting to get back to normal, start building up strength so I can actually do some real herping this year. Don't feel like I got to do a lot. It's a bummer too, because man, I had some stuff for you on my target list. And believe me, I'm going to make sure I don't forget you this coming year. And DEA, I should be out there a lot more this coming year. Coof be damned. I should hopefully be out in that area a lot more. But anyway, it's just it's just kind of like I kind of thought I could edit another video tonight, and I'm sitting there thinking, well, I can still keep uploading my old videos from this channel to my new channel that is, or my monetized channel. I won't call it newer because I set them off around the same time. I just didn't see that one ever getting popular, and it did. But anyway, I just YouTube really just sucks the creativity out of you, and I'm not trying to bash it. I mean, it's a free platform. It's good. You can get paid if you can build an audience. It's good for what it is, but I can't do my drone videos on the same channel that I do my snake videos on. It just won't work. Big snakes in a while. Immortal towards the late summer and fall, I see a lot more babies and your smaller fossorial species than anything. And what it is babies are hatching towards the end of summer, or they're being born and they're getting on the move. Which I've kind of been looking for some baby bull snakes for DEA this last year, and then I didn't get out as much as I had hoped. And then I had the wrist incident right in the middle of the time that would be cool to go find those. And it's been a play to suck, let me tell you. Yeah, if you find a racer in your swimming pool, just let it be, because just wait for the water to fill up so you can just get it out with a net or a snake hook or something. Because if you go down in after it and you slip and fall like I did, you will be without your left hand for 2 months like I have been. I did this September 27th or 26th, if I remember right. And it's just really screwed up my entire fall. It totally screwed up Hogtober for me. I was definitely wanting to be out in western Oklahoma and hitting the hognose spots, hitting the what am I trying to say? The hognose spots, the western side of the state, the stuff where the areas where you find like the Kansas glossies, Texas night snakes, western and or plains hognose snakes, bull snakes, things you don't see a lot of over here on the eastern side of the state. And anyway, you know, that just kind of didn't happen the way that I'd planned. So life throws you some unexpected curves, and sometimes it's I'll say it's like 90% how you roll with it, or 90% how you react to it, because life does some screwy stuff to all of us, trust me. Okay, I'm going to be right back. Hey, Danny, let's put user in timeout. And I don't have anyone in here with a hammer, so uh, who would like to be an admin for this channel? Or Eric B, is that you? DA, is that you? Someone give me a volunteer. Someone who's gonna be here and hang out. Pretty good, Mr. J. I'm dealing with a spam bot right now. You would like to be one. Okay, I am going to deputize you, DEA. And if you see that spam bot, Danny Dago, or whoever posts a porn link in here, please feel free to kick him, remove him from the channel, whatever. Normally, I do these like lives with like, you know, 4 or 5, maybe 15 people, you know, in the chat. A lot of people watch my chat after the fact. And so you can't, you know, you can't, hey, thanks, Andrew. Much help, much appreciated. And, you know, and so I generally don't get a lot of those guys in here. Like I'm in Iron Dog's live, or, you know, someone else's live, and those things are just rampant. Let me go ahead and deputize you, Mr. J. Oh, I did deputize you, Mr. J, and I deputized you, Rex. So, man, just any extreme profanity gone, any links other than ones that I say are okay. Let's get those out of here. Once again, Andrew, if you definitely want to drop a link to Fauna Radio, I would be all over that, because it's a good thing. I just have not really been able to hit it very often. Hello, JB Vlog. Greetings to all. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, I don't doubt that, Andrew. There we go. That is from DEA Exotics. That is Fauna Radio. That is worth checking out. It's worth supporting. Matter of fact, I'm going to, yes, I am subscribed. Haha. I probably haven't caught one in a while, Andrew, so bear with me. I'm going to get up and run grab some water real quick. I'll be right back. Hang on right one second. Okay, gang. Sorry about that. Yeah, Andrew, if I was smart, I wouldn't do any more lives till after the new year either. I kind of don't blame you. It's this time of the year. Hey, Miss Lady, good to see you. Glad to see you jumping in here. I've been digging through stuff, throwing out stuff, and doing house cleaning. Hey, Immortal Herper, thank you for stopping in. I'm going to get caught up on your shorts. Guys, check out Immortal Herper's channel. He's got some good videos and stuff. And this thing may not work, but anyway, Andrew? I'm going to go back to you, because like you're the one person I can see in this chat who has been around me that long. Do you remember when I used to be on Facebook under the name Ray Autry, Andrew? And I'm kind of wondering if you remember that back when Rise Against rattlesnake roundups was like this huge deal. This is the camera. This is the Sony Bloggie that I used. That I got the footage like for like the guys at Urban Jungles Radio and stuff like that. And I don't talk to Danny hardly ever anymore. Me and him, I'm not saying we had a falling out, but we just we just don't talk anymore. I don't know. He doesn't call me. I don't call him. But I was talking to Andy V earlier this week. Yeah, that's when you asked if I was related to Gene Autry. Actually, Andrew, my cousin, his dad got into genealogy. And it's kind of one of those things that, like, I don't want to say you're elderly and you get into, but he traced it back, and sure enough, I am like a distant, like a fourth removed cousin from Gene Autry. So it's like, yeah, you asked me that, and I'm just like, no. And at the time, I didn't know, and then years later, I found out. But anyway, this is something that I'm going to charge tonight. I just want to see if it still works. This was the first. This is called a Sony Bloggie. I want to say these came out in 2006. And it's a portable video cam. You can see the back. It's kind of like a cell phone. It is. And you can you can record things with it. It's very, very outdated. I want to say they quit producing these around 2009. But anyway, this was the first video camera I went into the field with for the Roundup issue. And it holds a sentimental place in my heart. It has a little tripod hole here on the side. It's kind of funny. But I was kind of hoping I would get it charged enough so I could turn it on so I could see if there's any video on it. Because I would almost bet you that there is. And it's, show you how far these things that come. It had this little slide button. You kick that out and there's your USB port. And you can just plug it right into a computer and charge it. But interestingly enough, some video I sold to Nat Geo was actually shot on that thing. And that was back, like there was this family of bloggies before that like 720p was the top of the line back then. And then 1080 came out, and this one had the 1080. Those are such cool little small handy cameras that I ended up getting the newer version when they released it. I want to say around 2009, and it never would focus right. That thing relies heavily on autofocus, and for the kind of things you'd use that for, it's like a GoPro kind of. You don't want to be focusing or worrying about aperture, things like that, with a camera like that. So the second one that I owned never did as well as that one. And it was like $120, and so I just never really, I left a bad review for it on Amazon, and never really went back from there. From there I went to the Sony CX240s, and from there to the AX53s where I'm at today. Other than when I use my cell phone, which, like, I see has rattlesnake venom dripping all over it. I shot some stuff last week, and didn't clean all of it off. Miss Lady, what's wrong with your shoulder? If you don't want to say in chat, that's fine too. But definitely thinking about you guys, and may head to our room after this if anyone's going to be around. I don't know. I kind of feel like right now I'm just going live because I'm bored and no one else is live, so I'm not going to step on toes. Once again, I reiterated earlier that if you have like hundreds of subscribers, thousands of subscribers, don't feel like you need to watch every one of my lives. I'm kind of doing lives on this channel just to keep padding the watch time because I don't, I've got a monetized platform. I don't have to get this one monetized, but I also put enough work in it to not let it go. Okay, DA, I've heard about the Galaxy Note 20 Plus. And, you know, this iPhone that like I'm looking into right now that I'm doing the live from, it films in 4K at 60 frames per second, which generally is like really, it does very well for the kind of stuff I do. I'll say that. I could deal with 8K or I could deal with 5K actually. But I have heard about those Galaxy Notes, and I'm kind of going to look into those. Sony released a Sony Xperia phone, and I don't know how you would go about getting service for it, like if AT&T does it. But it's kind of more like an actual phone. It's like a It's like a phone shaped camera with with a lot of the professional features a DSLR or a mirrorless has. But it's also like a side feature is it's a phone. You can call from it. You can text from it. You can get on the internet, but I want to say it's got like 5 or 6K video capability, the Sony Xperia. And I'm going to look at that because a lot of my audience likes my close ups. And what I do to get those is generally I have the Note 20 and regret not getting the Plus DEA. Okay. And then so Rex gives us some valuable feedback. This is my dad's old cell phone, but just for an illustration, people all the time are asking me how I get my shots, and it's like I'm not gonna say just anywhere, but like I take something like this, because these lenses are tough. They can take a rattlesnake strike. I mount it on a selfie stick or a board with some screws to hold it in place, and that way I can slide it along the ground and get the camera very, very close to the snake without getting me close to the snake. Because if you know anything about me, you know that 90% of what I film is venomous. And who wants to get that close to the snake and get bit? Then that's more hospitals and more surgeries, and I don't want that. Um, I figure I have a bite coming. I figure it'll be this year or the next. I don't know. Everyone around me has been bit. All my friends. I've actually lost 2 friends due to snakebite complications in the past 10 years. Most unfortunate situations, but they kind of knew that they couldn't. Their doctors told them not to mess with venomous snakes anymore. They kept messing with them. They paid the price. Sad to see those guys go, but it is what it is. Metal Mama Sue, good to have you on board. I've been meaning to try to catch up with you. It's just I just haven't been. Seems like I get off of here and then either I wind up in Discord or I'm asleep, and I don't really know that I'm going to sleep well tonight because I slept till about 2 or 3 this afternoon. Wanted to get up at noon. I've been having a lot of sleep issues, and I don't mind like talking about it. I kind of think it goes back to 2 years ago, or it'll be 2 years ago this May. I lost my dad, and I think one of the ways that I kind of coped with it, I was ready to lose him, but also I was his primary caretaker, and I'd quit my job like 2 months earlier to take care of him and manage his affairs. The wife was doing it up until then, and it was turning problematic, and he was getting a little combative. You know how people do when they have Alzheimer's, things like that. So I told her, you just worry about this, and I'll worry about dad, because he could still throw a hell of a punch, even though he was in a wheelchair and was almost 80 and was broken down. You still wouldn't want him to get one on you. Um, I kind of miss the old fart, but I'm glad he's gone. Just because I wouldn't want him to see today's world. Um, there's just no way. He's really on vibe with my friends like Miss Lady and Logic Rex, and he just wouldn't be doing well in today's world. I'm not doing so well in today's world. I'm adapting to today's world. I always take my rattlesnakes into the woods and play with them, and that's how I cope with some of these things. But neither here nor there. Yeah, I'm not. I've been an iPhone user for so long. I haven't really. Okay, thanks, DEA. I really haven't paid attention to the Galaxies. Are those Hey Rex, are the Galaxies Androids? Or do they run off like Microsoft based platforms? I would be interested to know that. Um, because literally, even though I have I have like sub professional gear like a Sony X53 Handycam that does have its uses. I'm not going to say it doesn't. But it's like these smaller things like GoPros, phones. If you get the right accessories for them, they become just way more versatile in certain situations. And especially in field herping, where you don't want to carry, a 10-pound camera on a tripod and march through the woods with it. I mean, yes, they're droid. Logic Rex, thank you for the answer. Logic Rex has an amazing channel. He doesn't do videos all the time, but when he does, they're cool. Something like this is a Sony X53 on a probably 10-15 pound tripod. It can get some great shots, but if you have to hike like 3 or 4 miles to find snakes or get off the road really quickly, it's hard to deploy and get in place, and a lot of times it's stuff like that is great for when you have people working with you, or you have a film crew or a bunch of guys that I herp with a lot of local kids, and I call them kids. They're in their like 25 now. I remember when they were 13 and I would go sign them out of high school, and then their moms would like take the belt to me. But I would sign them out of school and stuff. Hey, there's been something go on with your family. Yeah, I'm Kevin's dad. Yeah, I'm here to pick up Kevin. Yeah, you don't look like Kevin's dad. I grew some facial hair. Who cares? Then mom would find out about it. We'd get in trouble. Kevin would get in trouble. I'd get in trouble. Jeff would get in trouble. Mick would get in trouble. But anyway, these kids now, they're like 25 and 30 and they're having babies, and to me they're still kids. But I take them with me because, why lie? I'm too old and fat to chase down some of these really fast species that I film. Like I said, why lie about it? It just is what it is. But when I go with those guys, it's a lot easier to use a setup like that versus when I'm out by myself. It's just like, sometimes I'm working the snake with a snake hook, trying to get him to calm down, and then I've got to shove a camera in his face. And then I've got to be ready for him to run again, all while keeping an eye out for feral hogs, traffic, yahoos and hillbillies, all kinds of things you run into out in the places I go to. Either way, anyone who's been around snake video for a long time will kind of understand what I'm saying. But exactly, Sue. Yeah, my my grandparents would. I don't even know what my grandparents would think about today's goings-ons. So goings-ons, if that's a word. But either way, I'm kind of really sad that the junior hockey got canceled, and once again, nothing to do with snakes. And I don't know, I'm going to kind of look at numbers on this live later because I did one just the other night. People aren't used to me doing 2 lives a week. But, and I'm going to kind of see how, like covering some other topics and things floats with my audience. There's a lot of things I just won't get into on this channel because, too controversial or something. It's better off saved for a Rumble. And I'm a big unsolved mysteries cultist, so to speak. I think I've seen every season 2 or 3 times. The majority of them are on FilmRise on YouTube, and Some of them are on Hulu, and there's some groups on Facebook actually that have snagged the missing segments, the ones that didn't get included on the Film Rise re-release. And I've been doing a lot of discussion about those and just kind of trying to stay out of like the snake groups and things. Because it's just, there's been a lot of unnecessary drama in my neck of the woods, and I don't want to be associated with it. Andrew, I think you'll relate to what I'm saying about snake drama and snake groups, or reptile groups in general. My dad was kind of lucky. He never got sick or anything. He got up to Xperia, never kind of, it was over in seconds. I would never want to see him go down, but I mean, right, that. No, I was tracking with you, DEA. Yeah, DEA, my dad, I didn't think he would last a week after my mom died. He lasted almost 3 years. None of us saw that coming. And like right around the time the pandemic started hitting places like Oklahoma, which I'm kind of scared to even bring up the situation of the illness. But it was starting to hit here pretty bad. It had already been on the East Coast. And he was really needing in-home health care or was needing us to go stay with him. And he didn't want either of it. And he was like, I'm independent. I can take care of myself. And he really couldn't. I mean, he was kind of like, if Adult Protective Services would have got in, we would have had problems and things. But I would talk him into going into the hospital when I thought he needed to be there, and stuff like that. And he would go, and then he'd be out the next day, and he'd sign himself out and call one of his friends to come get him. And I'd just be like, oh, I so needed you in there another day or two. I actually made a rattlesnake video about 2 years ago and kind of put a note at the end. I realized I got the date wrong year and a half later. I hit the wrong thing on the keyboard and put it April 6th instead of May 6th. But I kind of did it just as like, this is just a quick note to say, my dad's gone. I'm going to miss him forever. And I wouldn't be able to be doing video full time right now had it not been for, some of the things he did to help me. I'm very, very grateful for him, despite all the problems we had. I definitely very, very, very grateful for him. Excuse me. Everybody, when they do their lives, they're always showing their animals. And I think I'm going to start keeping this rubber snake around. So like when people are like, hey, let's see one of your animals, I'll be like, okay, check this out. It's like a plastic rattlesnake. It's not, it's not a real snake. But, neither here nor there. Stuff I get into, and I do keep a handful of things. They're not things you can handle. They're not things you can just stick in front of a camera. Unless you have a smaller one and they're in a critter keeper. But either way, I was really kind of hoping to show you guys the Sony Bloggie tonight and show you some of its features and the kind of video it got. It got 1080 at the time. That was a big thing. I remember right before going to one of the roundups that I got a lot of video out of. All my friends at the party the night before in Norman, Oklahoma, which is where OU was, which is where I was crashing. They were really impressed that I even had that thing, and I was kind of like, well, it wasn't that expensive, but they were just kind of like, oh my god, that's so cool. Those are so cool. This is back when like the Nikon Coolpix was like the most sophisticated camera anyone had. Not saying the Nikon Coolpix isn't a cool series, it is. Especially the underwater stuff. That stuff is amazing. But they were also cheaper point and shoot cameras at the time. Go back to 2009. And the Rubber Viper only found in the Autry yard. I like that. Beautiful snake, Mr. J. I can't I can't deny that. Yeah, Andrew, you may have not been on it. There's a guy named Ball Python Love. I think he's still doing lives. I haven't really kept up with him. But when I lived at my old house, I had a lot of my stuff in my extra bedroom. He said, let's see an animal. And so it's like I found a baby cottonmouth that I had, an actual venomous baby cottonmouth. And I got it out of the critter keeper. I got it up on a hook, and it stayed balanced on the hook. And I'm holding it like right there. And I you know what? Nobody really saw this, but I had a bucket lid in my lap because I thought if he starts flopping, I'm going to need to catch him on something. And he stayed pretty chill for a couple of 20, 30 seconds, and then he started flopping. And all anybody saw in the video was him going into my lap. Okay, and that still gets talked about to this day. And then I just slid him from the bucket lid into the bucket and just was like, I'm okay, we're through. And so, but I was on his show. I think he still has it up, and where I dropped a cottonmouth in my lap is what the story is. Yeah, I know. It's just kind of like if you would have seen it, you would have known I was actually really fairly safe and wasn't doing anything stupid, but it looked mighty stupid. Yeah, I was on his show a couple of times. I don't know. The guy just kind of I don't know if he lost interest in me or what, but I was talking earlier, and Andrew, please don't take offense, but I was talking earlier about the whole, talking about ball pythons and stuff. It's just kind of an old scene. I mean, I've known, and it's not that I dislike ball pythons. It's just the rush to get that next gene. I'd swear I've been watching people chase that for like 25 years. I think you would have the same observation, Andrew. You've been around a while. I mean, and once again, please don't take that as ball python hate. I don't think it's cool when you have on a guest and they're into ball pythons and people start talking about cobra food, even though I've done it, you know. But I kind of get it, it's like it's been more like 30 plus years. Andrew, I was around. I don't know if you were around, but I was around when like local snake breeders, I mean, you're people like Bob Clark, people like that were like importing ball pythons in the late 70s. And they were all, 150, $200. They were all parasite ridden, and they, you know, lived 2 months if you were lucky. And yeah, and it's literally, I mean, like 30 years. I mean, it's like 1991, 1992. It wasn't that long ago, and we were there. And I mean, and so, you know, right, right. So you know what I'm saying. So it's just kind of like I see all these kids come into it, and they get into ball pythons, and they think they're going to make some kind of fabulous money. And I'm not saying some of them can't, but it just seems like it's very few and far between. So hard to take care of someone who's not going to. Right, Sue. I agree. I wasn't going to put my dad in a home at the time because I knew if I put him in a nursing home, one, he wouldn't go. Two, he'd probably escape. Even though he's in a wheelchair, he could get out of anything. Um, but also, I kind of thought, if I put him in a nursing home in the middle of the situation, I'll never see him again. I won't be able to get to him if he needs something or if he gets mistreatment. I won't be able to intervene. And Oklahoma passed a bill recently where you have to allow at least one person in the hospital. Now, a lot of the hospitals are ignoring this law, and a lot of lawyers seem like they're signing up to challenge that the hospitals. But it's no patient left behind or something like that. House Bill 2867, the Oklahoma citation docket. And basically, what it does is it gives a patient the authority to request one family member or one non family member be there in the hospital for when decisions are made, because even though we're in kind of a state of emergency, you know, you can't, what if a patient can't legally sign something for their treatment? What if someone else has power of attorney over them? These are all issues. Yeah, way back early 80s. Yeah, Andrew, I remember Tulsa County in the late 70s and early 80s. You could not have pythons in pet stores because they were dangerous exotics. So, you know where Sapulpa is, Andrew? I know you know where Sapulpa is. It's just down the road from Manford on Highway 97, which isn't that far from where it used to be. But they were across the Tulsa County line. They were in Creek County. And they had like no regulations on anything. Like people had lions in their backyards, things like that. People would have zebras, and stuff. And we would go like after like we got driving age, like 85, 86, we would drive over to the pet stores in Sapulpa to look at these horribly, nasty parasite ridden ball pythons. And for us, they were like the only exotic snake we could see at the time. Once in a while, you could find a boa constrictor, but it it just it's not like it is now. I'll say that. But yeah, but I know you've been around DEA a long time, and that's why I'm always going to point people to your channel, because I think you've got a lot of wisdom that has been hammered out over the years. And you know, um, I was starting off earlier today, someone about, I love watching, someone who's a professional herpetologist who's been active for 50 years but has never had a Facebook account, finally get a Facebook account and then get told, "Hey, you're milking that venomous snake wrong." It's like, man, he was doing that before you were born, and you live in your mother's basement and you're no one to be calling him out. I feel that's kind of one thing that the internet has banged up in herpetoculture is absolutely zero respect for people who have got decades of experience. It's just not in technology. But anyway, I don't want to rant about that all night. Gang, I'm closing in on an hour, so I'm probably going to end this pretty quick. I want to thank the small audience that I've had tonight. I kind of didn't really plan on going live. It just happened. And I just kind of wanted to not face the reality of everything that, is going on. I wanted a break from cleaning the room. I totally remember how we could buy just about anything. We knew people had a mountain lion cub. Sue, there's the Amish in Oklahoma. The Amish have these huge animal auctions out east of Tulsa. They sell monkeys, they sell alligators, they sell rattlesnakes, they sell cougars, they sell actual lions. They sell all kinds of things. And they're actually, most of what they do is legal as long as it stays in the country. There's a lot of different livestock laws. Like, we've got a lot of people that farm ostrich here. And, that's one of those things that's like would be a dangerous exotic if it lived in, a city type environment. But like in the country, if, with proper fencing, you can keep those things in. And they can't escape and they can't hurt anybody until they do escape. So, Miss Lady, are you guys going to be around on the other platform later? Let me know. If you're not, no big deal. Thank you for stopping in, Miss Lady. When you and Rex, who are not of this niche, stop by to help with my lives or just to be a part of it, I'm really grateful for that. I love you guys. I miss you guys. You are family to me. Never question that for a second. I definitely, you and Rex and, Joker definitely have a very, very soft spot in my heart. I can't think of a thing that I wouldn't do for any three of you. And Boats too. Boats just hardly ever makes my YouTube lives, which is okay. Dude's got other things to do. But gang, I'm going to kill it unless, I don't know if anyone else is going live later. Let me know if you are, or shoot me a message on Facebook or Instagram, because I may try to get back to working on this room, although I'm kind of sort of putting it off. I think I may try to get back to working on it. It's, you know how it is when you have something that you need to do and you don't want to do it, you just put it off. That's me tonight. Hey, Mr. J, DEA, Rex. I think I deputized one other person. Maybe I didn't. Guys, thanks for grabbing those hammers and helping me, because I can really lose track, and I want the trolls to know that here they will be dealt with. I don't have time for them. I do a smaller, shorter live, not a lot of people. I don't need it getting messed up. And hopefully DEA, Mr. J, see more of you guys in the new year. DEA, did we ever even hook up and do that live we were talking about doing? I want to say we hooked up for one live, but it was kind of spontaneous. I don't know that it was the best one. But either way, man, be in touch. You know me. You know how to get a hold of me. I'm around. But gang, I'm going to kill this. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you guys tuning in. No, we didn't. Okay, well, DEA, we need to just hammer something out and make that happen. And good grief, hopefully it can happen on a night when nobody has any problems, because I know my last year and a half has been plagued with them. I just feel like I've had a lot of appointments that I've tried to make that I just didn't get through. Mr. J, it's a privilege for me that you come in and stop in my lives. I really enjoy your channel. I wish I could catch every single video you do. Sadly, I can't. Metal Mama Sue, stay metal. Hang in there, and I'm going to get off of here. We're going to kill it before it hits an hour, because like I said, I really didn't want to go this long tonight, but I usually do. But anyway, gang, thank you all for everything. Andrew, thank you. Phono Radio would be a great place to get you. Gary is a venomous guy. Man, okay, in the new year, DA, let's hook up. And one thing I would like to talk about and get it out to more people, because I'm kind of, I'll talk to you more about it later offline, but I would kind of like people to know a little bit more about what I've done and the sacrifices I've made. I think Gary would appreciate that. I would appreciate getting that known. Some of these Johnny-come-latelys are coming up and they're screwing stuff up at an exponential rate. You wouldn't believe it. Let's say they're going to keep certain hunts legal into the next 50 years because of the PETA-type stance they're taking. And then there's snake people, and it's just like, eesh, do you not realize the hypocrisy here? They probably don't. It would make a great life. Oh, I guarantee, Gary is fascinating, and then you're fascinating, and then the two of you together with me, you guys could help make me look fascinating, I mean, hey, what gives? That would be great. But no, we'll circle back in January, and which is just a few days from now. But gang, thank you all for stopping by. I'm going to kill it. Thank you for being hammers. Thank you for showing up for support. Message me with any questions, or if you want to talk after this. And guys, be safe this new year. I want to see you there in 2022. Don't drink and drive. Let's all stay alive.